Yo, what's poppin', people? Your boy Snacks is back in the building with another banger. And you know how we do before we get started. My chair is down low. Why is it down so low? Felt like a midget. Do your boy a solid, man. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to turn your post notification bell on so you'll know when your boy is going live or dropping this heat. And the saga continues from yesterday with Deion and everybody, every media outlet in the country has covered this story, but yet and still, nobody's done any work. when did when are reporters gonna do work? You know, now I ran across Dan Patrick stuff, and they done some work on the updated version of what happened in front after things went down. But nobody did no backwards work to find out how we got to this point. But before we get started on Dan Patrick, because I want to go through that with y'all, because he made some great points. Some of the same points that I made yesterday on yesterday's video. And by the way, that video is back live because Stephen A had Disney strike my video and took it down. It was down for about an hour or so. I woke up, hit up YouTube, video is back live. Yeah, I know people at YouTube too. I told y'all I've been doing this YouTube thing for a long time. I'm 12, 14, 15 years in this game, man. So, anyway, but before we get started on that, I purposely waited for Stephen A to come on the air this morning with First Take just to see how he was going to start his show, to see if he was going to come back and apologize or try to reshape all the things that happened yesterday. And he didn't. He doubled down. Being a man, you shouldn't double down. You should have just ate it and said, my bad, I messed up. That's my dude. And it is what it is. And maybe we would have got past that. But he didn't do that. He went he went to the left with it. He went all the way over there. All the way. I mean, I'm gonna show y'all how Stephen A opened his show up this morning. Let's go. Thoughtful to the producers, no bad mouthing the producers, okay? No rude reaction. You see what that says on the screen? Wait until called by host. Now Molly's not on the show this morning. That's a coincidence, right? Yeah. Okay. I think Molly said today I don't want any part of this bull crap. So I'm getting out of here. Number 2, he has on the screen, no cursing. Number 3 is address him as Stephen A or Mr. Stephen A. Number 4, don't badmouth producers. Number 5, no rude reactions. Now, let's listen to what he said. You see this on the screen, right? Wait to speak until called upon by host. No cussing. Address him as Mr. as Stephen A or Mr. Stephen A, which is referring to Coach Prime wanting to be called Coach Prime and not Deion Sanders when being addressed by the media, or in that simple respect, address him as Coach Prime. Don't badmouth producers. No rude reaction. Now, listen to what he says because he doubled down. As usual, we want to be thoughtful to the producers. No bad mouthing the producers, okay? No rude reactions with all histrionics and facial expressions and all of this other stuff. There will be law and order when I'm hosting this show, which is the antithesis of what that daggone Molly does. Would you? You speak? You raising your hand? You may speak.
Yeah. Mr. Stephen A. Are you acting as Riled today? You're a player coach. I guess so. Okay. I'd like to thank Bill Ross.
Yeah. See what I'm saying? It's not a press conference where you try to handle people. And that was his intent. But that's wrong. But I'm gonna show y'all some. I'm gonna do that now while we on this subject. I'm gonna show y'all something. And Prime just posted this a little while ago after Stephen A done his opening. Let's go there. Coach Prime. Let's put it all the way up on the screen. When we engage into something, we participate or become involved in that thing. Why do we engage into things that won't and don't elevate us or advance us? Be more selective with who you allow to attach themselves to you. Everybody next to you ain't with you. You do you. Now, First Take went live 2 hours ago. And what does that say? Deion 2 hours ago. Y'all see, Coach Prime is still trending. Coach Prime is still trending right here. Caitlin Clark still trending too. Colorado is trending. But the thing is, you shouldn't have done it, dude. And you should have owned it. You should have just owned it and apologized to the man. So to understand how we got here, let's go back to the initial reaction, because a lot of people didn't see how Prime handled this reporter and how we got here. This is how we got here. Let's go.
Coach Sean Keeler of the Denver Post. Happy summer, my man.
You don't like us, man. Why do you do this to yourself?
Come on.
You
No,
don't like us.
Mark likes me, by the way. Yeah, Mark said he likes me. So that's one.
No. Why do you do this, though?
No, I'm sorry. Two-part, if I could.
No, I'm serious. Why do you do this? Like, you know you don't. Like, why do you do
No,
this?
it's not that. Football question.
No,
Football question.
why did you do, like, it would be hard for me to really engage in someone I don't like or something I don't like. I'm just asking why. Like, why?
Gotta pay
What did
bills.
I do?
You didn't do anything. It's not about, this is a
But
football
why?
question.
I'm asking you why.
Yeah, you can answer, but that's
Okay,
not.
answer me.
Yeah.
Because you want me to answer you. So
Yeah, okay, that's fine, that's fair.
Why?
Why? Because I have
Give me
questions.
your why.
What's your why? What do you want to know?
Why do you always on attack? Like, what did we do?
Where am I on attack today? Where am I on attack?
I'm not gonna give you opportunity to be on attack. But I'm asking you why. Like, what does it do for you? Like, what happened?
It's not about me.
But what happened to get you like this?
It's a good question.
No, I'm serious. I want to help. No, I'm serious. I want to help. Because it's not normal.
We can talk about that. We can talk about
Okay.
that. Can I ask you a football question?
No,
Seriously.
No, we'll talk about that. When we talk about that, I talk about that with you.
Can we ask you a football question,
When I
please?
talk about that, we talk about that. We can talk about that.
And that video is courtesy of Uncle Neely and the pregame show. Like, see what I'm saying? If you guys would have started there, then it all makes sense. But you started from dude being banned instead of starting from there. Why he got banned. And like I said, why you just didn't answer the question. When Prime was talking to you while you were there in the press conference, and he was asking you your why, and you had nothing. You didn't want to answer the question. You tried to play it off, go to something else. But the man is trying to engage you and talk to you and figure out why do you have this problem with me, with us? And let's fix it, is what he said. I want to know why you got the problem, because I want to fix it. I want to help. And yet and still, you didn't want to do it. And the very next, And after that, they set up a meeting to talk to this guy. Closed door, behind closed doors. Before he left the campus, it was all set up. They was going to get together the next day. But Jackass went home, got on his little laptop, and wrote another article about Prime being fearful of his program sucking this year. Wrote another hot bag of bull crap about Prime. And then you get banned. And now you want everybody to be up in arms when you had a chance. You had 2 chances. You didn't do it live, and they set it up for you to do it behind closed doors, and you still shot yourself in the foot. Put your big foot in your mouth, and now you wondering why I can't participate. They're not supposed to let you participate. You should be happy that you get to continue to do stuff at the campus, because all you're doing is making things worse. But let's get to Dan Patrick and his stuff. Let's go. Let me get over here to Dan.
We touched on this at the end of last hour. Deion Sanders and Colorado University trying to shut out a Denver Post columnist over negativity. Now, the columnist from the Denver Post is allowed to go to the press conferences. I guess he's not allowed to ask questions when he goes there. Is that what we understand?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Is happening here?
His credential has not been pulled. He's allowed to go to all team activities and press conferences. He's not allowed to ask questions. Other Denver Post reporters can ask questions.
Now, his name is Sean Keeler. He's the columnist. And one of his columns in recent weeks was Deion Sanders is a false prophet. CU Buffs, Colorado football playoffs, ? All have what Coach Prime is smoking. So,
and see right there, that's somebody that did some work, a little bit. But you see how he extended what Keeler wrote. He just didn't put the quote up that CU sent to the Denver Post on why Keeler is banned about the things that he's written. He accentuated on that. He read the entirety of at least the headline. He didn't read the article. He wrote the headline. But we might get into some articles today, just so I can show y'all how bad this man is, if we can get into the Denver Post, because I still think they're behind a paywall. But let's go.
So Sanders had a little give and take, I guess, in the press conference August 9th, where he sparred with the columnist. And then the columnist said, let's meet in private to discuss the matter. Sanders agreed and then said that he wouldn't allow him to ask any questions at the news conference. Keeler's column the next day began with the headline, Deion Sanders, 4-8 coach, gives a 3-9 news conference. Oh.
See what I mean? See, I just told y'all that. But that's what I'm saying. At least Dan Patrick did some work. He had his boys see what's going on. He did some work. That way he's reporting on what's really happening, not just giving a hot take on the headline. This is what you call small reporting.
Coach Prime showed CU Buffs fans a 4-letter side they hadn't seen before. Fear. Now, I think what happens is the attention that Colorado has received doesn't match the end result. Deion has brought a lot of attention there, and they went from 1 win to 4 wins. All right, that Any program's going to take a jump like that.
Correct.
Now, I don't know if this Denver Post columnist thinks Deion's getting too much attention. Now, would I have given him Sportsman of the Year? No, that was embarrassing. But it's not his call. He didn't say, I need College Game Day out here. He didn't have Fox high noon kickoff. Like they decided. 60 Minutes, they did 2 profiles on Deion last year. It's not like he said, hey, you better get out here. I demand you do a profile on me.
Right. That's what I said in my video. It's not Deion's fault that he gets all that attention. It's not on him. He can only do what he does, and what he does draws a lot of attention because he is that large of a figure. But everybody thinks that Deion is amping it up on purpose. No, Deion's just doing Deion. Everybody's just following Deion. Everybody's just clamoring on and tagging along because Deion is doing Deion. Everybody's following along because he got his kids there and they want to see what he's doing there. Everybody's following along because he got Travis Hunter, who was the first 5-star player to go to an HBCU, who followed him to Colorado. Everybody's intrigued on what Deion is doing. Deion had this fan base before he was a coach. Deion got the old heads, that's us, me, and the young people because he has his sons that's in that age group. And his sons are tremendously popular. So that brings along the crowd. It's a lot of stuff that you could have talked about when it came to Deion and what he was doing. But Stephen A. did not take up for his homie. He didn't do his job. He didn't put the work in and have his researchers do enough to see what was really going on. Why Sean Keeler is attacking him. Why are you banning this guy from press conferences and he can't ask questions? You didn't find out the why. And that's what you should have done. Should have found out the why and tried to see if there's any way that I can get this over and protect my homeboy and keep all these people off of him, because you know the whole world is coming at Prime regardless of how it's done. When it's something like this, they are itching to do whatever. What you should have been reporting on that Prime is doing is stuff like this.
Gant, Dog, Chidozi, they Zell, Gus. Anybody else got anything on the way? Y'all know ain't like you in trouble. Like you ain't done nothing wrong. Matter of fact, you did something right. And a child is not a mistake. A child is an opportunity to mature you, grow you, advance you, and give you some skills that you guys gonna come? All right. Bring it up here. So y'all know how I am about fathering, and you know I would not hire a coach unless he's a great father. I don't hire a coach that's a deadbeat. I don't hire a coach that's not taking care of his responsibilities. I would never hire a man that he say he's gonna look after y'all, but he won't look after his. That don't make sense to me. We've been blessed. I mean, truly blessed. And this is unbelievable. 5430 Alliance. They have something to tell you that we've been working on. And I don't know if some of you seen the tweet I put out last week. I said I need to partner with a bank.
Coach Prime put out that call, and Elevations Credit Union responded. Coach Prime asked us to step up and to join him today in opening up accounts for the children of some of the student athletes that he just appreciates so much. Today we're starting you all out with $2,121 because that Coach
Prime. We're gonna go beyond this, okay?
And that's what you should have been reporting on. Him doing stuff like that, because he's constantly doing that in Colorado, but nobody's saying anything but us, small YouTubers or other personalities like myself. We cover it, we speak on it, but when it comes to the major markets, you should have been providing cover for Deion instead of trying to beat him upside the head with all that bull crap. Stephen A was just wrong, dog. I don't know if he called. I doubt if he called Prime. Couldn't have called Prime. Not with what Prime put up on the internet this morning. He ain't heard from Stephen A. And I'm sure he didn't saw the 5,000 videos of commentators and commentaries of people clowning Stephen A for being a ass and not covering your boy and getting his back. That's what you should have done, dog. You should have got his back. But let's get back in the dance.
The attention, that's what should be blamed, not the person receiving the attention. Now, do I think, I mean, we have silly stuff. Paul Feinbaum said, well, make him USC's head coach. Mike Greenberg, hey, what about Dallas head coach there? All they're doing is trying to, take some of this spotlight that Deion has and get some clicks. That's all that is. It's silly. But Deion's not the one who's saying this. Deion said, no, I'm not interested in going to the NFL. That doesn't stop people from speculating. Or what about when he goes to his next job here? So there's blame. Now, Deion it feels like he's being a bully here. He wants to set the tone of, we're not going to take that negativity. But, it goes along with this. If he's creating great expectations, if he's saying, hey, I think we're one of the top 15 teams in America, okay, then you can hold him accountable with those words. But I don't know. It feels like, is Deion a false prophet? If he's saying they're going to be in the college football playoffs, I mean, do we take every coach at his word for what they say? I'm sure there are a lot of coaches go, hey, I don't see why we can't make, we can win our conference. I don't see why we can't. It's Deion Sanders.
Right. And it's just the fact that it's Deion that you want that hit. And I appreciate Dan for doing this. And Dan and Deion are cool. Deion's been on the show a few times. But Stephen A, this is where you dropped the ball. Because this is the kind of stuff you should have been doing. This was Stephen A's job. This, not what he did. This was Stephen A's job. This is what Stephen A should have been doing. Trying to kill all the negativity and letting people know, hey, this is what this man did to Prime. This is why this is happening. He did this. He wrote this. He put this in this article. This in this. I got a bunch of videos of a bunch of the articles Sean Keeler wrote. Just go back through my videos and you will see him. Hater, Sean Keeler, this on Coach Prime. It's a bunch of them in there. I mean, a bunch of them. I got them on 3. I got them on 247. Because that's all they were doing was the bad stuff. They wasn't reporting on the good things that Prime was doing. Making sure those kids are okay. And that's what Stephen A should have been doing.
And look, the columnist is trying to make a name for himself. I get it. Now, the university said the columnist is permitted to attend football-related activities as a credentialed member. Other reporters from the Denver Post are welcome to ask questions. Now, does he raise his hand the entire press conference and then he doesn't call on him? Yes, John.
Yes.
Can Sean give like a little note to one of his colleagues? Could ask this for me?
I would. Absolutely. Now, Deion did this before.
Right.
When he was at Jackson State, there was a reporter from the Clarion Ledger in Mississippi.
See how they done it?
And
see how they've done some research? Even though Stephen A brought this up yesterday, and he just talked about it. He didn't say why he done it, but the dude wrote a hit piece on one of Prime's players that was accused of assault, I think, or sexual assault on a young lady. And Prime said no. And that was that. But y'all didn't even know about that story until this one came out. Because why? Nobody cared. The world wasn't reporting on Prime when he was at JSU. Y'all wasn't all in his neck, but now you in his neck. And Stephen A. should have done your damn job.
And I guess he had written a story about a domestic violence charge against one of Deion's recruits. And then he said basically that he was going to be blackballed. He wasn't going to let him ask questions as well.
Correct.
Deion, they go 4-8 first season, declined to specify his goals for 2024 as the Buffaloes return to the Big 12. I want to win. Yeah, so I'm trying to understand both sides of this.
You got notes.
Columnist, you want people to read your column. You want clicks. You want eyeballs.
Right.
Deion wants that on his program. Both are receiving it. Deion, it feels like, is empowering this columnist by all of a sudden, hey, what he's saying, it hurts. There have been members like media writers. They know sometimes that they can go after you and say something. People in our business. It's happened to me where somebody can come after you and say something.
Right. But it's okay to take jabs. Deion has never bothered a journalist for taking jabs. They've been doing it since the inception of Deion, since he come out of Florida State. They've been taking jabs. Sean Keeler was taking jabs all last year. Since January of 2023, Sean Keeler's been taking jabs at Prime. And he took them through the whole football season, through the whole off season. And I guess finally he got fed up. And once you fed up, dog, of getting hit with all of that, you have to do something. And he did. Oh, excuse me. But let's let Dan finish.
Not much you can do. But if you do acknowledge it, they love it. Like, oh, okay. Yes, Marvin.
Is Colorado falling to the Dallas Cowboys category of, man, they are just getting so much attention for such little results?
Okay, but this isn't Deion's fault.
Oh, I'm with you.
Yeah. And the Cowboys, although I think Jerry Jones just wants attention, the whole CD Lamb, the Dak Prescott, Mike McCarthy, they're constantly talked about more than any other. The Cowboys and then everybody else, I could take everybody else's coverage and it wouldn't even come close to the Dallas Cowboys. It's all this is a ratings game. If you're going to go after somebody, you're going to go after the person who's wearing the crown. Well, the Cowboys don't wear the crown, but they have worn the crown. But they are the most popular franchise in sports. Yeah, Paulie.
Going back to Deion Sanders, he actually there's a clause in his contract. Maybe other coaches have this. He has a clause that he has duties to talk to the media that are professional and consistent interaction, mutually agreed upon members of the media and public print, et cetera, et cetera. So he has clauses in his contract that he does not have to talk to all the media if he doesn't choose to, which is why Colorado's involved in this.
Deion says, this is a way of life for me. You guys act like this is the first time I've been shot at. I've been lied on, cheated, talked about, mistreated. That's a gospel song, ain't it? Okay.
And that's right. Deion does have that clause in his contract where he gets to talk to mutually agreed upon media. And that's fair, though. That's only fair because of his personality and who he is, because you know that people are going to come at you all day, every day. And occasionally you get to shoot a warning shot across the bow. Hey, pal, you better back up before I let loose. And then everybody calms back down. But no matter what, Deion will always be the story. And Stephen A. didn't provide cover. His first priority was providing cover for his friend and making sure that his friend was going to be okay and was not going to get hit with a barrage of insults and attacks by other media people who trying to protect media people. But Stephen A's first instinct was to protect my media brethren instead of protecting my brethren. That's what you should have done. Should have protected your mans instead of your homies in your clique that you don't know nothing about. You took the side of a pure stranger over somebody you've known over 20 years. You said that out of your own mouth. That's what you did. You took the side of a stranger instead of a dude you're supposed to know. But yet and still, he was wrong, and you wanted to chastise him for it. You wanted to embarrass him for it. You wanted to lay it out on national TV for somebody who has the world's biggest sports show that is seen around the globe, not just around the country, worldwide. And you did that to your friend of 20 plus years. You did that, Stephen A. You threw those hot ass rocks on the fire and made the fire bigger. Because this was going away. It was gone. We buried it Friday. Poured the rest of the dirt on it Saturday. And Monday morning, you open your show for almost the first hour of your show with this. Green and them did what? 4 or 5 different takes on it? And they were still talking about it this morning. They were still talking about it this morning. Did 2, 3 more segments on it. But why? Stephen A., you did this to your mans. You did not have his back when you should have had his back. You did not protect him from the rest of the bullshit. He don't need it, but it's good to know it's there. Because he going to take these hits and keep pushing. Because when they start winning, y'all going to be begging for that access. Everybody. And I know somewhere in that tiny, that big ass head of yours, you have to know that he's going to win. And all of y'all are going to be clamoring to get to Colorado all over again. But anyway, man, we're going to get off of Dan Patrick. We appreciate him showing love and doing his damn thing. We're not going to go long like we did yesterday. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure y'all hit the like, hit the subscribe on the video. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all doing the damn thing. For real, for real. We going to get out of here. Peace.